Hi guys, welcome back to Commentea.
Hi guys.
Today we're going to be reacting to a video by Alexandra Rodriguez, also known as Learning to Be Fearless. She posted this video called Fat Shaming Doctors Rant, which actually she has posted something like this before that I remember watching years ago.
I feel so passionate right now and I just have to talk about this because I'm so ready to just talk about things that are on my heart and feel passionate about on my main channel again and just connect with you guys because
She's trying to be relatable.
I just watched the first episode of the new season of Shrill. If you haven't watched Shrill yet, whatever size you are, I would definitely recommend. If you are also fat, you will relate heavily. They so accurately describe and depict what it's like to be fat in society. I'm fired up. Season 3 just came out today on season 3, episode 1, if you haven't watched yet. So at the end of this episode, she goes to the doctor. She goes to the gynecologist. It's a gynecologist appointment. Apparently her, again, spoiler alert, her normal gynecologist got called into a surgery, a birth or something, and there's a replacement doctor. And if you're also fat, you know there is a lot of anxiety around seeing new doctors, even your normal doctors, any sort of medical stuff, because there's so much to be worried about. Like, people can judge you before they even know about your health. Like, you don't know if you're gonna get fat shamed with a new doctor. Like, it's a stressful experience. Not just for fat people, of course, but just saying from fat people's experience, most of us are extremely doctor anxious, especially when seeing a new doctor, right? The new gynecologist comes in, does her pap smear, all that, and at the end she also goes, I'm sure Dr. So-and-so has talked to you about this, but you should definitely consider gastric bypass. You're at the perfect age for it, and hands her a brochure. And she's just like, oh, like, but we didn't do blood work or anything. Like, why are you telling me I should do this for my health? And she's like, I don't need to do blood work to know that if you lost weight, you would live a healthier life. And she takes the pamphlet. She's like, I am not interested in this weight loss surgery.
I see where Alex is coming from. I see that she doesn't like the fact that someone who doesn't know that person is recommending weight loss surgery. So I don't think it's wrong for a doctor to suggest that. Am I alone in this? What do you guys think?
I think there's a way in the way they suggest it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it comes off a little rude.
Right.
If you're plus size, you probably had someone tell you, hey, you know you could eat a salad and like it'll help you to lose weight, right? So they make you feel stupid and as if you didn't know you were overweight.
Yeah.
But if he's just handing the brochure the way she's explaining it, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's also like when you cut yourself and you see so many people with the same cut and you can tell when it's infected or not. And just by seeing it as a professional, you're like, oh yeah, that's totally infected here. You should use some of this. Isn't this something like that too?
I think so. People who struggle with their weight probably have an insecurity about their weight and they're more emotional about it. So when a doctor is being factual, they can't help but be emotional. When the doctor's technically doing their job, they shouldn't say, oh, well, you're really fat, you should stop going to Burger King. Like, no, they shouldn't say that.
Right.
But it depends on the way they're saying it because it is such a sensitive topic, but also they're a doctor and they're supposed to do their job. And this is part of their job. No matter, how much overweight you are, we all know that it's unhealthy for us. It's unhealthy for us to be overweight.
You take the perspective of a doctor and the person ends up getting sick because they're morbidly obese or something. And this could have been a preventative measure. Could that person hold that professional accountable? And hey, you should have told me because you're the doctor.
It's a liability.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense because that's part of their job. Again, if you're just like walking down the street and someone says, hey, you need liposuction.
That's rude.
Yeah, that's rude and that's uncalled for. They're not a doctor. But if you're going to see a doctor and a professional and they're saying, you know what, this is an option for you because you're overweight. I understand her frustration. I think it's coming from an emotional sense and an insecure sense. And I get it. It's hurtful. I get that. But at the same time, like, you have to think about the doctor's job. Like, what is the doctor's job?
It was super unsolicited, right? She's a gynecologist, not talking about anything weight related. There was no blood work. Like, doesn't know about her health. She doesn't. You cannot look at someone and just know about their health. You cannot. Like, there's too much science nowadays. Of course, there are limits, boundaries, whatever. But even that aside, you cannot judge someone's health without looking at their blood work, their blood pressure, like cholesterol, everything. Like, there's so much more than just looking at someone and assessing their body size and being like, you're not healthy. Like, there's so much more to it. But the reason I'm feeling so passionate right now is because in one of my most viewed videos several years ago, I went to a new dermatologist, and this video, oh my God, this video got picked up, I remember, by like Yahoo News. Like, it got a bunch of articles because I went to a new dermatologist and she ended up making a comment about my weight. And I know even this video is going to get like so much negativity from people that are stuck in an old mindset, probably people that think BMI is still a thing. But like, I had gone to the dermatologist. I'll link the video below if you want to watch it and like hear the full thing. But essentially, I went to a dermatologist about my acne And she put me on Accutane. Not once the whole time did she ask, what's your diet like? You know, did you try going dairy free, which I did, but like all these different things. Like she didn't ask me anything about diet or anything. Like she just talked about my skin. And at this point, I was a lot thinner than I am now, too, by the way. And didn't talk about any of that the whole time. And then at the end, she just subtly slips in to talk. She's like, "Oh, and you should talk to your primary care about your weight. She can help you with your weight." Like you cannot just assume with fat people that she wants gastric bypass. You cannot just assume that. Like, do you really think that like like my primary care doctor is like not gonna just like she can help me with my weight? Like you think
I understand because yeah, that scenario with her dermatologist is
Yeah.
very uncalled for.
Mm-hmm.
And she did not do her job as she was supposed to, because you're supposed to find out what their diet is like, what is it that they're eating, maybe do some food allergy testing or something to see what's triggering the acne. And yeah, okay, I give her that one. But I think this scenario specifically about the show, it's just triggering her from her past experience, and this is just an emotion that she's trying to relate to this show, but it's not, almost not kind of relatable.
I guess when you go to a gynecologist, you don't expect to
Be
be told about your weight. Maybe doctors do have biases against overweight people in general. I'm not saying they don't, because they may or may
Right.
not, but I mean, they also have a job to do. So I don't think dermatologists should be talking about weight unless
Right.
it's skin related, like she's getting rashes or something
And a
weird.
gynecologist, yeah, it's not your primary. Your weight does affect your reproductive organ. Is he or she in the right to have said something like that?
What do you guys think down below? Comment. Do you think a gynecologist has a right to make a comment about weight? Do you think any doctor does? Would you feel offended walking in and them talking to you about your weight?
Is there a way to tell you about that? The way they approach you?
people just assume that you're not aware that you're fat, you know? If she wanted to get gastric, she'd get gastric. If I wanted to ask my doctor about losing weight, I would do so, you know? And like, it's one thing too to hear from your primary care doctor who's looked at your blood work and actually analyzed your health. But it's another thing to just assess someone based on how you look and assume that they want to lose weight, aren't doing their own thing. Like back when my dermatologist said that to me, like it was just a constant reminder that you're constantly just not enough in society. And that it was not about health because she didn't know about my health. When the dermatologist said that, what if I had like been on a weight loss journey for like a year and had like already lost 100 pounds or something? What if? What if? And you say that, you don't know me, you don't know my diet, you don't know my health, like stuff like that. Like, and I popped on camera and talked about it because like it feels right to talk to you guys about these things. But like back when that had happened, I was just so like disheveled after. I was just like, and so many people commented and are just like, she's a doctor, she's just trying to help you. She's a doctor for my skin. And not once did she ask me about my diet or my health or know my blood work. Like it's all assumption. It's all just looking at someone's body and being like, you're unhealthy because the way you look. You know, like you don't know someone's journey. You don't know someone's health.
I have a question for everyone. If you are morbidly obese, even if your blood work comes back perfect and you don't really have any health problems that you know of at the time, do you still think that you are an unhealthy person? Are you unhealthy?
Yes.
Tell me more.
The reason why I think that is because you may not present any issues currently, but weight gain, it only leads you to other issues that may be dormant at the moment. One day to the next, you can have high blood pressure, sleep apnea, or, diabetes, and especially a heart attack. We all know that it's the biggest health problem in America, and it's a very silent killer.
Your blood work can come back fine, but if you are overweight, this goes for everyone, not just, Alex or this person on the show, but for anybody, it does lead to health problems down the road. It might be nothing now, but it might be something later. And a doctor's job is to help make sure that you're as healthy as possible. That should be their job. Should they be offensive about it? Of course not. But also they have to be a matter of fact, because they're not with you all day long. They're there, sometimes your appointments are 10 minutes, half an hour at the most sometimes. And so if they're like, hey, you need to work on your weight, I'm sure they've seen cases where weight does affect people's health in a big way.
Because it is a very sensitive topic, but I think it's one that is necessary to have.
So disheartening to have someone just make assumptions about your health.
Would you guys prefer for a doctor not to address your weight at all and just wait until something goes wrong and then address it? Or would you guys rather your doctor bring it to your attention, even if it's something but maybe give you other options or talk about your diet or something to help? What would you guys prefer?
Because to the doctor, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's getting paid anyway.
Yeah.
So he could care less about whether you're obese or you have diabetes or you're not taking care of yourself. But I think that people go into these fields, they become doctors because, well, I can't speak for all of them, right? But most of them do care about people and they want to help people.
Kind of makes me think about, like, if you're a teacher, for example, you go to your parent teacher conference and the teacher says, hey, your kid's really struggling in reading. Does a parent really want to hear that? Sometimes no, they don't,
I
because
get mad.
yeah, they're in denial, or they don't want to hear about it, or it's a sensitive topic. But the teacher's doing their job. They have to tell you your kid's struggling and this is how I can help. This is what we can do together. If we work as a team, we can help your child read better. So I feel like this is kind of similar in that way, where it's like, it depends on how the doctor approaches you, but also they're suggesting things to help you and to help you lose weight. If that's something, even if it's something you don't want to do, it's better for your health no matter what. No one can say it's not better for your health to be at a normal weight. Like, it is. Everyone knows that. Sometimes, at least for me, I just want to know it straight up. Like, if there's something going on with me, just tell me, please, because beating around the bush or caring about my feelings isn't going to really help me in any way. In the long run, they're there to help. Tell me what's going on. How do I fix it? If they just tell you, hey, you're fat, and they don't give you any remedies or any solutions or talk to you about your diet or your exercise, that would be one thing. But if they're making an effort to educate you, I think that they're doing their jobs, just like a teacher's doing their job when they're helping their student read and they say, this student's struggling, let's try this. That's what my opinion is. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Being thin does not always equate to healthy. It just doesn't. Like BMI, oh, don't get me started on BMI. My husband is so fit. He's a captain in the army. He runs every day. He is super muscular. And like, based on his BMI, he's like obese. Like, BMI is such crap. Like, even when I went to a new doctor the other day, actually, and even she told me that BMI is crap. She's like, based on my BMI, like, I should be X amount of pounds lighter. And like, she's even said, like, she's like, it's nice to know that some doctors are actually like aware now and like opening their minds to that health is not one size fits all. And this is not me promoting obesity. This is not me saying all fat people are healthy. Not all fat people are healthy. Not all skinny people are healthy. It cannot just be this linear thing. But and like unsolicited advice about these things from doctors who don't know your health and are making assumptions. She may as well have been someone at the grocery store. Please comment below if you have been there too. And if you're gonna go down in the comments just to talk about that I'm unhealthy and everything I said is bullshit, like don't waste your fingers typing because you're not gonna change my mind.
What do you guys feel about her rant? Do you think it's coming from an emotional side? Do you think doctors have a right to talk to you about your weight? Does it depend on how they go about it? Does it depend on the type of doctor they are, the relationship you have with the doctor? What are your overall opinions about this situation? Thank you for listening. This was Commentea. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again later. Bye.
Bye.